In fact, it's the other maps that have been getting the vetoes, and Antigua is the one that's been getting played on time and time again.
Yeah, Antigua Shipyard is one of those maps that really allows you to have a lot of good expansions set up. You can easily progress it into later stages of the game, and because of the fact that that gold expansion has been removed, you can easily sort of balance it out. There was this weird situation that would end up happening where if the Terran could take the gold expansion, the Protoss would be in a really, really rough spot. You couldn't really approach it. It was a planetary fortress, and especially if Naama is making any sort of tanks. But now with just a regular blue mineral field, I feel like it's balanced up quite a bit.
I agree about that with what you're saying there a lot. Gold bases in the middle of maps are just something that drives me crazy in general. I think it's bad map design because it says expand in the middle of the map, and B, it says camp there. Because if you've got a gold base, you want to keep that gold base. And I just think it really, really makes gameplay a lot more stagnant. So by changing these expansions, it makes these expansions no better than they would be if they were in the top left or the bottom
Equal
right.
opportunity expanding.
Exactly. Equal opportunity expansion, indeed.
Affirmative action, expanding. In the left position, we see the man who does the Colossus-based play is a very reactive player, is going to have to react perfectly if he wants to advance. It's going to be NightEnD.
That's right. And his opponent over here in the top right-hand corner of the screen, who likes to pull SCVs 24 minutes into the game and still win, is Naama.
Naama, I mean, I cannot really think of any other players who incorporate a lot of tanks into their play against Protoss other than Rain and very occasionally MVP. But if you think that those are the other two names that do rely on tanks every now and again, it makes you wonder, why don't I do that more often? I mean,
MVP's pretty good. Rain's not half bad either.
You have a 3-time GSL champ and a 1-time GSL Code S second-place player, both very talented.
And then Naama, who is looking very poised to move deep into Dreamhack 2011 winter.
Right now, he will be playing up against the winner, or if he wins this, he'll be playing up against the winner of Dong Regu versus EG's Puma. And right now, Puma does lead that series 1-0.
That's Puma's up over DRG.
That is accurate.
Wow, what an update.
DRG
indeed.
stayed in the tournament just long enough for me to win $50 from you. So we do have Naama, no gas at all. Looks like Naama will be doing an expand.
Loving it. Because expands are good. It promotes big macro play. We see lots of units and late game stuff. And Naama, he kind of came into the tournament as a question mark. You pointed out that he won Dreamhack winner last year. But where has he been since then? He's switched teams a couple of times. He hasn't been posting super great results. And people have been like, who's Naama? But coming back here, showing us that he's still got it. He macros well, and he's tactically apparently a really, really great thinker.
Yeah, I mean, I really think that's the biggest strong point of Naama. We've seen him make a couple of minor control mistakes. Generally, his control is quite good. His macro, I think, is the one thing that you'd try to label as sloppy if you could find something to call sloppy in his play. But his tactical decision-making is absolutely astoundingly superb. We see Naama even doing these little moves, like look at these marine placements, just trying to curl around this backside to make sure there's nothing else scary going on. And right now we do see he is taking his early expand.
Yeah. Haven't seen as much 1-Rex Command Center in this tournament as it seems like I'm used to seeing elsewhere.
Yeah.
We've been seeing a lot of gas openings from Terran players, but 1-Rax Expo is a lot of fun. Also, a couple of racks going down behind that command center. That is, of course, completely normal. On NightEnD side of the map, 1-Gate Robo. So I guess he wants to probably get out in an early observer, see if he can figure out what's going on in his opponent's base, and then make whatever transition he feels most befitting the situation.
Now, over on NightEnd's end, I mean, this fast robo play can open up a lot of opportunities. It used to just be the ultra defensive play, the sort of cold foot play. I'm not quite sure what my opponent's doing. I don't really know what I want to do. I'll rush for an observer, and then I'll figure out what I want to do mid-game.
Right.
What I much so prefer is doing something even like a double immortal drop play right at the start of the game, trying to do some harassment in that regard.
Oh, that's fun.
NightEnD is going to go straight up for that observer. Don't really dislike that. You can go for the expand, but then following it up again with maybe the double immortal play. Absolutely strong. We see Naama is going for a 4 racks. Ooh, looks like that is going to be a very aggressive way to play the early expand out.
That double immortal drop that you're talking about, oh, there's an expansion coming down for for NightEnD, also expanding before he scouts his. No, that Stalker scouted. Never mind. Stalker saw the bunker at the front. Good read by NightEnD. But back to the discussion on double immortal drop. I like it myself. Nothing kills a supply depot faster than 2 immortals dropped out of a War Prism.
And interestingly, it works out surprisingly well against this very play. You'd think that the immortal would not match up very well against this, but if you drop and all the Marines are starting to push out to be aggressive, you can just pick off 2-3 depots, and immediately your opponent is supply blocked. Once you're done holding off the push, Terran has almost nothing and no way really to rebuild it too quickly.
Yeah, you can even poke at the front with Stalkers at the same time just to control Terran's positioning on the map a little bit. We do see 4 Marines taking the center of the map there for Naama. NightEnD pulling that Stalker back in plenty of time. Nice map awareness there by our Protoss player. Second Observer going to come out, so really focusing on getting Observers out, having good vision of the map, and feeling out his opponent. There is a pretty large Marine push materializing here for Naama. He's going to have to figure out some way to get up this ramp, though. I don't really see it happening day 9.
NightEnD is finishing gateways 2 and 3, and oh, this is going to turn out really poorly for Naama. Oh, the Marines are going to suffer some huge hits. Oh, NightEnD!
And NightEnD doesn't want to fight. He says he doesn't feel confident in that battle, losing a sentry already, and now this Nexus is going to take some damage.
NightEnD really should have held that off quite well. NightEnD needs to get those Zealots into the front, and if Naama takes out this expansion, this is going to be a devastating blow. He's going straight for the sentries. There is the force field slice he was looking for earlier. And this is exactly why these sorts of Marine pushes can be very dangerous, but Naama is not done pushing yet. He's picked off 1 Zealot, 2 Zealot. There's the 3rd Zealot falling down, and now with the sentries too low on energy, this follow-up push of Marines can be a lot of trouble.
Zealots under Guardian Shield are literally immune to damage from Marines. They take so long to die. Naama will back off here, but I think he's okay with that exchange. He killed a few Zealots, killed a couple sentries. NightEnD looks like he wants to turn around and maybe make some sort of a counter push. Naama very intelligently throwing down extra bunkers and things like that just in case of such a turn of events. A single immortal added to the fray here.
I do think, though, that the NightEnD could very well end up making the identical mistake he made in the last game. Here's this force. This immortal shouldn't be here, I don't think. This is a little bit too rich of an expenditure for defense when you're already very well defended. NightEnD, if he does go for this counter push, is going to run right up against a big brick wall of bunkers, and it looks like, again, Naama is continuing to build a largely Marine force, but this time no tanks. Oh, God, another amazing pick on that Observer. That's actually a very hard Observer to spot there on that cliff ridge.
Excellent map awareness again by Naama. You can see that he's very actively checking on all of his units all around the map. Both these guys are playing reasonably fast, averaging 130 and 150 APM respectively, which is really high after the change to the way Blizzard measures APM.
Yeah. We see a huge fortress of bunkers. Oh no, NightEnD does manage to pull back before really taking any damage at all. Yeah,
there's not enough sentries in that mix to bust through. There would be way too much repair for the Protoss player to deal with. NightEnD knows it. He's going to just back right up to the middle of the map. In NightEnd's base, we see just the 3 gates and the single robotics bay just now finishing, so we're going to see more Colossus-based play from NightEnD. And Naama, it's just being Naama. He's got double tech lab going, stim, and combat shields on the way. Interestingly, no siege tanks just yet, day 9.
I do think that Naama is just going to go play standard, Mr. Bitter. It looks like he loves Marine Marauder all of a sudden, and a 3rd Observer.
Are you serious?
Oh, he gets the 3rd Observer, Mr. Bitter. Mr. Bitter. Look at that unit's lost tab. I bet you like half of that are Observers.
Yes.
Actually,
technically just under half.
Yeah, 7 divided by 2 is in fact 3.5.
But still, we'll round down.
Thank you. Colossus from NightEnD in that defensive posture, and this is what makes this map so freaking tough. If you start doing the drop play here, dropping up into the main, popping back down to the Expo, it is nightmarish to deal with.
It's going to be 2-pronged to drop. We see a 3rd command center going up for Naama. Naama is just playing exceptionally at this tournament. And if he manages to take down NightEnD here, he's going to be into the round of 4. The what do we call that? We call that the quarterfinal? The semifinal. This is the quarterfinal.
That is indeed true. Right now, he has earned himself $1,500. That first place prize is $30,000 for this Dreamhack. Naama now moving down that bottom left side. And of course, I forget that I'm American, so it's actually 30,000 US dollars, around 20,000 euros, I do believe. It's 200,000 kroner. That is a number that is fixed in my mind. Trying to do the conversions on the fly, but
Kroner is the most amazing name for a currency ever.
Isn't it amazing?
I just want to put that out there.
It is probably the strongest kroner name, or strongest currency name. And, you know, that's one thing that is amazing about a lot of those Japanese RPGs. They have some of the best names for money ever, like Gil and Finn and Lutter. Here comes Naama's drop.
Oh, indeed. Colossus is there, so Naama is not going to unload it. I have to ask, Day9, what game has Lutter?
You know, I actually was with a friend in college, and we loaded up about 15 different JRPGs specifically to find out what the name of the currency was. Lutter was the one that really stuck out in my mind. I'm sure someone can go look it up on the internet. It's Ludder, and if it gets typed in the chat, I'll definitely mention it here on stream.
It sounds hilarious and amazing. We do see the scans going down by Naama just to keep track of NightEnd's army. He's got 2 Colossi at the front, 1 in the back. Not something you really want to attack into with Marine Marauder, in my opinion.
Ooh, looks like these well-positioned medevacs won't really be able to do too much, but of course, what was the purpose of that play? To get a command center up. I don't really think this needs to be a planetary fortress, but this is a good decision to turn this into a planetary if you're intending on being really, really counter-aggressive with those drops. You want to have that stability back home. Upgrades incoming and coming in for Naama.
Naama was like 3/4 of the way through +2 armor, and he canceled it, and then he restarted it.
Huh.
Maybe I saw that wrong, but I could swear that those upgrades were lined up. Because I was so impressed, I was going to comment. I was going to be like, look at these upgrades on Naama. He's about to finish 2-2, and then the armor upgrade went away. Drop unloading here in the back of NightEnd's third base. He's going to force a cancel on that Nexus, and going to force a cancel on that Pylon. Does he have time to get out of there? He sure does.
You see that Blink play coming in. I do think Blink is one of the most essential upgrades on these very topsy-turvy, mega-curvy maps like Antigua Shipyard, like Shakura's Plateau. Once that Blink plops up, it will be very difficult for Naama to do much aggression. Naama gets away.
A lot of gateways have been added on for NightEnd. He's up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gateways, 2 forges, Blink, Colossus, High Templar, all on just 2 bases. 3 more gateways also being built, so that makes 9.
And look at this, 3 barracks with reactors on them. That is going to be a ton of Marines, ordinarily quite dangerous. Naama banking on his control in these battles, banking on those tactics, and of course, got the update, guys. Deadly Towers is the game where Lutter is a currency.
Amazing. Deadly Towers. Let's go check that one out at some point. We do see NightEnd pushing across the middle of the map here, 160 supply to 173 of Naama's, but this is a Colossus-based army with some Archon support, and Naama has really neglected producing Vikings. He's only got 4 right now.
This could get really scary really fast. Naama does have the slightly superior army size. Neither player has too many workers. Normally you'd have around 75 to 80 if you were doing chrono boosting or excessive SCV production, but looks like both players want to have a little bit heavier of an army in this large engagement, and honestly, I love the passivity by Naama. Naama knows he has the lead in terms of the economy. He just wants to let that lead extend while he buys time to get those ghosts up.
Dropping once again in the back of the third base, well, threatening to drop at least, was Naama. There are some zealots there ready to pop down and jump all over those Marines and Marauders. A large amount of supply tied up and being parked in the back of NightEnd's base. We've got about 9 Stalkers there. That's 18 supply. And also a Colossus just parked right up front, not really doing anything. Now he's going to go join up with the main army. So 3, 4 Colossi total on the map for NightEnd. It's going to give a lot of extra damage to his army, and still only 5 Vikings out for Naama. He does not seem too concerned about these Colossi.
These Colossi are really going to be the doom bringers. He's got to get that Viking count up enough to be able to pick those off NightEnd. Now we do see the 2 High Templar there. Do not have Storm. No, Storm actually has begun researching. Naama is in that very nice defensive concave. Not scared to build those extra bunkers as other players would be.
There's that personal cloaking upgrade on the Ghost Academy. There are 3 ghosts on the map already, a couple more in production. I love this transition from Naama. He knows that High Templar will be joining the fray eventually. And at the same time, these guys are going to start up 3-3, +3 armor, +3 weapons going for both players.
Oh, here comes Naama. He does have those 3 ghosts in the mix. He's stimming up a single Marauder that is going to run headfirst into a giant pack of Colossus. But
and the Colossi do not want to fight that Marauder. They know just how strong upgraded Bio can be.
Naama has a lot of Lutter in the bank. He's sweeping around this center expansion. He will be able to take it out. There's not a single High Templar with Storm. Oh my God, Naama has so many units and is bringing the SCVs in yet again.
Seriously? What? The SCV train is there. There are, wow, that is a lot of it. It's like all of his SCVs. He's got, I think,
a large portion of his SCVs. With that blink done, these Stalkers can begin picking off all of those ghosts. This is a very tense moment. Naama is sweeping around. He's trying to get the EMPs in. Oh, the ghosts get absolutely ripped apart. And there we see the stim forward. This arc is gigantic. How does Naama have as many units? But the Colossus doing so much damage, and I don't know if NightEnD actually has enough units.
Not sure either, but the Vikings will deal with these Colossi. The SCV's actually adding a ton of depth to that army.
Look at that 85 supply of army. He's lost almost all of his workers, but it doesn't even matter. Naama knows how to deal the finishing blow at the left position. An expansion for NightEnD is going to get cleaned up. A single Marine continuing to patrol. These Templar do not have Storm. NightEnD. Oh my gosh, is Naama really going to get into the round of 4 right here?
He might do it. The Archon's coming out. Zealot's coming up from behind. So NightEnD may be able to clean up this push, and actually, in fact, he does.
Nice play there by NightEnD, getting the surround. The Zealot Archon's so cheap, but look at this,
all
Mr.
of a sudden,
Bitter.
Naama like, gee, I wish I had my workers still.
Poor Naama, he is broke. He has some workers at his third, no workers at his second, no workers in his main, and he's just trying to find another base.
He's got 28 workers and unmined minerals at every expansion. This Nexus up in the top left-hand corner will get shut down. 105 supply for both of these players, and with the big worker difference, that means the much larger army is the Terran army.
I mean, NightEnd's basically only mining from his third right now. I mean, his natural expansion does have some, but this is the clear target for Naama, who's just basically saying, well, if I'm low on money, I'll just re-expand to my own bases.
Yeah.
Start getting money from there again.
Got those mules dropping down there at their most recently taken expansion.
Oh, I do not like this engagement by Naama. This is a much better force from NightEnD. This Zealot Archon army is easy to deal with no ghosts on the field. Where are the ghosts? Another stim. All those
the medevacs getting focused down. Nice choice there by NightEnD. But now the Archons in retreat are going to die. One of them falling very, very quickly. A second Archon looks like he may go down. Nope, in fact, Naama choosing to disengage. There's still no Storm being researched for NightEnD. And, you know.
Oh, the third base is the clear target yet again. It looks like NightEnD does not have the best angle. The Marine Marauder can retreat. These poor medevacs are getting picked off. Another stim. That's the double stim. Once again, Naama hitting that T button a little bit too itchily.
Indeed, scratching away at that T button. Storm does finally start. Some ghosts popping out for Naama. I'm surprised, actually, at the fact that he's able to maintain his production with so few workers, but I guess, you know, when you have 3 or 4 orbitals, dropping those mules can really do a lot to bolster that economy.
Gosh, this is just a wild situation that Naama finds himself in right now. I mean, with a couple of essentially placed EMPs, he can crush this. He now has 2 of those tasty little ghosties there, which can do some big damage. I don't know what the correct target is. Does he want to kill the Templar? Does he want to kill the Archons? He knows, or we know that there's no Storm yet, but does Naama know that?
Nice EMP on 2 Templar. Those are going to immediately be morphed into Archons, and is there no more energy for EMP? Personal cloaking has gone down, I guess. And I feel like NightEnD has done what he has to do day 9. He's cleaning up a lot of this army, and he's just becoming way too cost effective. Naama doesn't seem to have an answer to the Archons.
Has amazingly cleaned this up. Now, once he builds this pylon, he'll now have those 2 cannons there defending against those drops. And it looks like Naama's decided to go into drop mode. He needs to stay a little bit more focused in terms of his goals, picking off the Observer, and now it looks like NightEnD has the advantage.
Yeah, I think so. And this drop is going to do a little bit of damage, but NightEnd's just able to warp in wherever he needs to. NightEnd's economy is really, it's okay. He's mining at about the same rate as a Terran player who's dropping tons and tons of mules. But that means every production cycle he's able to make a bunch of units. That is a lot of Archons.
That is so many Archons. That is 6 Archons on the field right now. Naama picking off some buildings from below.
A plethora of Archons.
And it looks like both players are returning back to building workers again.
That's funny. I find that quite funny.
We're rapidly approaching the second mid-game of this semifinal potential match.
NightEnD just moving up towards the center of the map as if, I don't really know what he's going for. Maybe looking for that drop ship. Naama really trying to just jockey for position. 133 supply for our Terran player. He is down only 4 workers, so he has really replenished his workers quite a lot. Ghosts counts, only 3.
But he has 4 in production. This is a very powerful force, but with those well-planted EMPs, it can be a very, very easy to dismantle force. We see Naama is rallied up. He does not have those bunkers. Oh, 1 ghost dies, but there's a lot of forces here by the natural expansion.
Really need some big EMPs here for Naama to hold this next push. That Colossus adding a lot of depth to this army. Storm also done now, Day 9.
There's the 3 ghosts finishing. Just now, 3 popping out of the close racks as well. Here comes the big push. He needs to get them to cluster together, but he keeps cloaking. He doesn't have enough energy for the EMPs now. A big blunder. Oh, he does not manage to get the Templar. Naama might lose in this very push, but a lot of the Zealots from NightEnD are falling without dealing that much damage, and it looks like the Storm.
There's the Storm, and look at how low that Terran army is. The 3rd base of Naama will fall here. Can the Planetary get a couple of kills?
There comes another stim. Oh, huge Storm from NightEnD. I don't believe it. NightEnD may have managed to clean this up. We've said that he is a great responsive player, and he responded correctly in this game. He has pushed it to a 3rd set after narrowly dodging defeat with that huge all-in push.
Yeah, and, you know, on Shakur's plateau, we're like, Naama pulling all of his SCVs, making a great tactical decision, and he sure knows how to win games.